higher. So in the previous class we have seen this collections. In the collections we have this different methods. So now we are going to check this index by table or associate array or PLSQL table. So normally PLSQL record how we are defining. So using the type name is record of one, like that we are defining. So coming to the index by table or associate array or PLSQL table. This is user defined type which is used to store multiple data items in single unit. Generally these tables are used to improve performance of the application. Basically these tables contains key value pairs. That is value field is stored in actual data and key field is stored in the indexes. Key field values either integer or character, and also these values are either positive or negative. Okay, this index key behaves like a primary key that does not accept all null and duplicate values basically. This data type is a binary integer. Index by table having following collection methods. So those are exist first, last, prior, next, count, delete range of indexes. Under VRA and next table we have the extend, trim and limit. Okay, these are the collection methods we are having in under index by table and also in the VRA and nested tables. So syntax for this index by table, how we are going to use is the type name is table of data type size index by binary integer or data type size, and variable name type name. Suppose we are defining this one, declare type T1 is a table of number indexed by binary integer. So we are defining the type is T1 is table of number indexed by binary integer, and variable we are defining v1 as T1 type. So begin v1 of 1 is equals to 10, v1 of 2 is equals to 20, v1 of 3 is equals to 30, v1 of 4 is equals to 40, v1 of 5 is equals to 50. That means 5 variables we are defining here. Okay, so all the 5 variables using this only variable name v1 only. What is the index number? With the index number we are using here. This is called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is called as the index numbers. So in the v1 of 1 we are storing 10, v1 of 2 we are storing 20, like that. v1 of 50 we are storing 50, and we are printing these values. DBMS output or put underscore line of v1 of 1, like. So here 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 it is printing. Okay, this is a simple example for this index by. So index by binary integer here. So was one more example we are having this. Declare this is the type T1 is table of number indexed by binary integer. V1 of T1, and we are mentioning the same v1 of 1, v1 of 2, v1 of 3, and here in the DBMS output we are printing v1 of 1 first. After that DBMS output put underscore line of v1 of last I am printing. So instead of the index variable I am using the collection methods. This is the methods we are told now. So this is the methods in this. We are using the same here. Last, clear of 3, next of 4, count. That means last means whatever the last value in the index that will be captured here. And prior of 3. 3 means this one. Prior means before this one. This will be captured here. And prior next of 4, that is 5th, it will be captured this one. Count means total count. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And V1 of 5. What is the V1 of 5? That will be going to print here. If you see here, it is printed 10. V1 of 1 means 10 it is printed. Next V1 dot last. So V1 dot last means this index value. What is the index value? It is 5. Okay. Next V1 of prior of 3. Prior of 3 means 2 it is printing. Next V1 of next of 4, that is 5. And V1 of V1 dot count, that is total is 5 only, that count it is printing. And last V1 of 5. What is the 5 value? So whenever we are using the index value along with this variable name, then it is printing the value of that. Okay. So whenever we are using this collection names here, last, prior, next, count, so then it is getting this index value. Okay. V1 dot prior of 2 means that is 2. So may have some other examples here. Declare T1 is table of number by index binary integer. V1 of T1. Begin V1 of 1, V1 of 2, V1 of 3, 4, 5. Then in the DBMS output, we are using the V1 dot count. First we are printing. After that, V1 of dot delete of 2, 3. So what it will delete? 2, 3, these two indexes will be deleted. Then we are again taking the count. How many are there? So and after that, V1 dot delete. After that, we are taking the count. So that means when you are using first time here, delete 2, 3 means it will be deleted and count will come 3. And after that, V1 dot delete means it will delete everything and count will become 0. So same way, I have the colors, some of the colors we are taking. So if you see declare type V, associate array type is table of varchar2 I am taking, index by varchar2. V color code, this is the variable I am taking, and type is V associate array type. Begin V color code of white, V color code of black, V color code of red. So instead of the numbers, what we are taking? So here we are taking the varchar2. Okay. V color code of white means 0, 0, 0. V color code of black 1, 1. V color code of red 2, 2. Green 3, 3. V color code of yellow 4, 4 we are mentioning. That means when you are taking the entire variable name along with the index name, so it will print the value. So V color code of white. So then it is printing the white, yellow, black, red, green, yellow. So these are the values it is printing. So write a PLSQL program to transfer all employee names from employee table and store it into index by table and also display data from index by table. So how to write this requirement? Write a PLSQL program to transfer all employee names from employee table and store it into index by table and also display data from index by table. So using the simple loop, we can see this how to write. So declare cursor C1 is select ename from EMP. What is our requirement? We need employee names only. So that in the cursor we are taking cursor C1 is select ename from EMP. Type T1 is table of varchar of 20 index by binary integer. V1 of T1 number n number assignment operator 1 assign. Begin open C1 loop fetch C1 into V1 of n. Okay. Exit when C1 percentage not found. DBM is output underscore line of V1 of n. N assignment operator n plus 1 I am increasing. End loop close C1 end. So that means in the loop n value is increasing. So that V1 of 1 first, V1 of 2, next V1 of 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. How many records are there? These many times n will be increased here using this n assignment operator n plus 1. So now this is the printing using this index value. So we are capturing the table data into here cursor. From cursor we are fetching into this index by variable. So and from the index by variable we are printing these values. Same thing can be used in the for loop also. So declare cursor C1 is select enum from EMP. Type T1 is table of varchar of 20 index by binary integer. V1 of T1 n number assignment operator 1. Begin open C1 loop fetch C1 into V1 of n exit when C1 percentage not found DBM's output. We are increasing this n assignment operator n plus 1 and loop close C1. So same thing can be used in the for loop. How will you use this for loop? For I in V1 dot first dot V1 dot last. So here the index variable dot first dot index variable dot last. Loop DBMS output underscore of V1 of y and loop end. So using the simple loop, what we are doing? We are opening the cursor, fetching the data and printing it, and after that closing the cursor. Whereas in the for loop, simply we are using the for I in V1 dot first dot V1 dot last loop and end loop. Okay. So the initially it is printed with the simple loop. After that, again it is printed with the for loop here from here. Okay. So next we have the bulk collect. So declare type T1 is table of varchar of 20 index by binary integer. V1 T1 of V1 T1 of this one. Begin select ename bulk collect into V1 from EMP. Okay. For I in V1 dot first dot V1 dot last loop DBMS output V1 of y and loop end. Okay. So here little data is there so that it will be faster. So but when there is a millions of records, so then this will be bulk collect. You have to mention the limit also here. Okay. Bulk collect into V1 limit 10,000 or limit 1,000, limit 5,000 like that. You have to mention so that and the batches it will get the data and it will insert into this local variables. Otherwise, it will throw the memory error. So declare type T1 is table of date index by binary integer. See here, previously we have used the varchar2 here. And in the above we are using this number. So T1, type T1 is table of number, type T1 is table of varchar 2, and type T1 now table of date, index by binary integer. V1, T1 begin for I in 1 dot dot 10. Loop, V1 of I assignment operator is that plus I, and loop for I in V1 dot first dot dot last, V1 dot last, loop dvm is output dot pronouns line of V1 of I. So what we are storing here is that plus I. So I value here initially 1. After that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So after 10 loop will be ended here. So here it is collecting the sysdate plus 1 means today's sysdate 12th May. So that means initially it will be 13th May, it will be stored into this variable v1 of I. So I value 1 it is 13th, I value 2 means 14th. Like that it will store 10 days sysdate in this index variable. Then after that using this I am printing, using the index variable I am printing the output. Okay. So 13th May, 14th May, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21, 22. So write a program to transfer all the high dates from the employee table and store in index by variable. And after that, print using the index by variable. This is the requirement. So declare type T1 is table of date, index by binary integer, T1 of T1. Begin, select high date, bulk collect into V1 from EMP. For I in V1 dot first dot dot V1 dot last, loop dbms output V1 of I, and loop end. Then this is printing this high date from the employee table. Next we have the V array. So V array is a data type, it's similar to the array only. V array has a fixed limit on size specified as part of the declaration. Okay. So similar to the array only, so but we have to specify the size and part of the size and specified as part of the declaration. In the declaration itself, we have to specify the size of this array. It allows group of values elements of same data type. V array should declare with the size. It is also same as array in normal language. Here always index start with the 1 and also indexes are consecutive. You can also store V arrays permanently into database. So here in the, we are also storing actual data. We must use the constructor. Maximum size of V array is 2 GB. So syntax for the V array is, so first we have to define this type name is V array, maximum size of data type size. And variable name, type name, assignment operator, type name of brackets here. So this is the maximum size. Within this maximum size, we have to use this type name here. So declare type T1 is VArray of 7. So here we are mentioning the size. Okay. So in the V array, we must mention the size of this array of varchar 2 of 20. V1 T1 assignment operator T1 of brackets. So begin V1 dot extend of 5. So we are mentioning the size here. Out of the 7, we are taking the extend up to 5 only. That means V1 of 1, V1 of 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 values only I'm taking. Within this 5 index variable, I'm storing the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm printing this CVMS output. Suppose if I say V1 of 7, the 5 is there, but I can say one more I will add it here. V1 of 7. Assignment operator. Saturday I'm using. So what will happen? So size, here I'm mentioning 7. I'm also taking 7 here. Okay. Then it is throwing the error. Subscript beyond count. Subscript beyond count means, so here we are taking in the execution section, we are mentioning the extend it to 5 only. This array size you can extend it to 5. Initially we have mentioned total size is 7, that is maximum size is 7, but still in the execution part we are using only 5 only here. Due to that it is giving the subscript beyond the count. That means here after 5 it will not be accepting any value. Suppose if I say 6 also I'm giving here instead of the 7, if I give 6 also, same arrow, subscript beyond the count. That means here actually 5 values only I'm saying, consider 5 values only. Suppose if I say 7 here, then it will be executed. Okay. So that means whatever the maximum size we are mentioning in this, we are within that we have to extend, then only it will work for this index variable. Suppose if we are mentioning only below the size, that means suppose 4 you are mentioning, but here we are taking the 6 index variables, then it will throw the error. Subscript beyond count. That means you should immediately identify that we are using the array size here. What are the array size you are mentioning? More than that values we are using here. That means while extending, here it is the within the limit only, but while in the execution section, how many we are taking, that is important. Suppose if I am mentioning 7 here and I am extending to 9, is it possible? So that is not possible. That is because maximum size is 7 here and here we are taking more than that. It will not allow. And below that, if maximum size if we are taking, and we have to define values for this. How many count we are taking for that count only, we have to assign the values here. You can say 6 or you can say 7. Then only it will be executed. So this is the anonymous block we are using for this. Here, suppose if I want to use the named block, then we have to use this create or replace procedure. P1 is type, T1 is where of 10 of number, LV underscore T1, T1 type. Begin LV underscore T1 assignment operator, T1 of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That means in this LV underscore T1 of 1, it will store 10, LV underscore T1 of 2, it will store 20 like that. So and after that, with the index variable, I am printing the values here. LV underscore T1 of 1, LV underscore T1 of 2, 3, 4, 5. So the program is procedure compiled successfully. So will you call this execute T1? Then I'm getting the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Suppose if I say sixth one here. So I'm maximum 10 here. So, but here I'm sixth I'm giving. Will it works? procedure compiled successfully, but when I execute this one, it is throwing the error subscript behind the count. After this, it is printed, but after that, subscript beyond the count it is printing. Why? Because this 6 is not defined here. Here I am defining only 5, so that it is sixth one, it is giving error. So that if you define 60 here, then it works properly without any error. So this is about the VRF number. So how will you use the VRF characters? So declare type T1 is VRF7 of varchar of 20. Here I am defining variable V1 of T1 type and assigning T1 of null, null, null like that. So how many values I am giving? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 values I am providing here. Begin. Again I am assigning V1 of 1, Monday, V1 of 2, Tuesday, V1 of 3, Wednesday. And after that I am printing the V1 of 1, V1 of 2, 3. And also limit I am printing, count printing. After that I am using the V1 of trim. Trim means what it will do. So here one record it is removed from this out of 7 total count. So if you see here, after printing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, limit total limit is 7 it is printing. Count also 7 it is printing. Okay, that means this is the limit it is taking here. And this count we are taking from this here. How many? These are mentioned here. So now after that, V1 of trim we are giving so that one value it is decreased from this total list. And when I am taking the count, it is giving 6. Suppose if I am giving again V1 of trim, so what it will do, it will delete one more record from the bottom and it will print count here. What is there following the error? What is missing here? Declare type T1 begin within the begin execution section we are giving values here. This one only extra added. For it here, this is missing. Colon is missing by mistake. It is removed from here. Okay. So now if I execute, we count it is coming 5. Okay. Same way if I is one more time, is the count it will decrease. So here it is 4 it is coming. So whenever you are using the trim option, It is deleting the one record from the list. So here what we are doing, declare type T1 is var of 20 of varchar 2 of 20. V1, T1 of assignment operator, T1 of ABCD. Just I am giving 4 values here. So, but here maximum is 20 here. Z boolean. Begin DBMS output dot put on the square of V1 dot first, V1 dot last, V1 dot prayer of 3, next of 2, count to limit. I'm printing this index type and index size and what are the count here. So after that, I'm using the loop for I in V1 dot first dot V1 dot last loop. DBMS output dot put on the square of V1 of I am printing. So how many values are there for this I? So initially we are having the 4, that 4 will be printed. So end loop, after that Z assignment operator V1 dot exist of 3. I'm verifying that V1 dot exist of 3 means it is, whether it is exist or not, it will verify. If Z is equals to true, that means it is a boolean value. So whether it will output is true or false only. That means if Z is equals to true, then DBMS output your index exists with an element V1 of 3 I am printing. Else index 3 does not exist. And if V1 dot extend V1 of 5 assignment operator E I am giving here. So first printing the existing values. After that I am checking whether the third index value exists or not. So that is printing. After that I am extending the array here. So V1 dot extend I am giving V1 of 5. Already 4 I am used here. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that fifth one I am taking here. V1 of 5 assignment operator E. V1 of extend of 2. Again I am extending it to V1 of 6, 7. And assigning the values F and G here. After that, for I in V1 dot first dot V1 dot last loop, I am printing again the values. Again after that, V1 of trim of 5 I am giving. See here, trim of 5. DBMS output put underscore line of V1 dot count. Okay. Before that, I will print this count here also. So after that, trim of 5, I am printing the count. After that, V1 of delete and printing the count here. So initially it was printed index total index. What is the first value? Total value count is 4. After that 2, 3 pre arrow next time printing this. So is the prayer of 3 means last it is 4 printed, prayer of 3 means 2 printed. So after that next of 2 that is 3 printed. So count 4 and limit. What is the limit? That is 20. So after that I am printing the 1, 2, 3, 4 values using this for loop that is ABCD printed. So after that I am verifying that index exists or not. For that your index exists with an element C. In that it is containing the C. Again after that I am printing here DBMS output V1 of 1, that is in the loop how many are printing here. Initially it is ABCD printed. After extending here it is printing ABCD EFG. So after that again count we are taking. So count is total now it is 7 here.